Finally, Blackreach. We can go grab this Elder Scroll. I think this is the last thing we pretty much need for Dawnguard and the main story. Of course, we're going to be stacked with Elder Scrolls. I know these things are weigh like 20 pounds a piece. I hope it doesn't actually count towards our inventory. No wonder I'm running out of inventory space so quick. That's probably why. Maybe it's just because I'm not going and selling things like I'm supposed to, which I actually finally did after we left the Soul Cairn. And shit, I'm full again. It's worth so much. Each item now is becoming worth so much money that it's hard to find a merchant who can buy more than 1 or 2 things off of you before you have to go find someone else. You almost have to cycle through the entire map with every merchant in it just to get rid of your stuff. Had I finished out the Thieves Guild and followed it out completely and restored it and got all the merchants there in the cistern area, you know, when they're around the Ragged Flagon or whatever, and done all that, then it would be much less of a problem. Because not only do all the fences have a lot more gold to spend, but there's a lot more of them. And it provides an extra, oh geez, half dozen merchants in the game or more. And not to mention that, the Khajiit caravans have no more money and they'll buy stolen stuff. And it's just awesome. It's really, really convenient. It's not a big deal. I'm not doing anything with my money anyway, but still. For those of you that just have to have mass quantities of gold, I strongly suggest the whole Thieves Guild thing.
Who's there?
Alright, so down here, a few interesting things to see. I know there's like this big orb hanging out of the ceiling where if you shout at it, I think you have to use Unrelenting Force. But this dragon spawns, and I think it's an Easter egg to Lord of the Rings, you know, Smaug in the middle of the Dwarven City type thing. I think it's that type of thing. Anyway, I can't think of any other reason they would have a random dragon spawn in the middle of a Dwarven ruin, but there you go. And then there is a little Falmer encampment in the middle of this place where they have some human slaves. And I guess they figured out how to enthrall them or something. Maybe it's a trick they learned from their Dwarven masters centuries, millennia ago, whenever. I don't know. Anyway, you got some of that drama going on down here. I'm not going to go investigate all that. There's also some Crimson Nirnroot down here, and you can hear it yelling at us right now, because this is like louder than normal Nirnroot. This stuff is screaming at you like from every corner of this place. And apparently it's some new kind of Nirnroot. If you get any in your inventory, I don't think you can get it out until you complete some kind of little side quest thing or something. Anyway, there's a little house over here, and this was used by the guy from Oblivion who had you collect all that Nirnroot. Apparently he's obsessed with Nirnroot, so he heard tale of this Crimson Nirnroot, and he had to come here to investigate. Because that's what he does, you know, that's his thing. And so this would be his last little hut. I think that's his skeleton right there anyway. And I think there's like a journal in here somewhere that talks a little bit about that. But that's Sindirion or whatever, however you say it. That's the guy from Oblivion. Or else it's an ancestor of his with the exact same name, which I don't think so. I believe it's him. He's been dead for a while now. I think the events of Oblivion were roughly about 200 years ago. A lot of stuff in here, though. Lots of alchemy stuff and what have you. And there, yeah, there's one of those nervous. See how it's screaming at us? It's yelling at us over there. And that's all over the place down here. And I think you have to collect 20 or 30 of them or something like that. I don't know. Him and his go collect 20 Nirnroot for me thing. Even after death, you have to go collect Nirnroot for this dude. It's just crazy. I'm not going to do all that. I'm actually going to make a beeline for where the scroll's at. So I want to go grab that and get back. And then we'll go make our way towards looking for Ariel's bow, which is really going to bring all this to a head. And be pretty much done with Dawnguard then. Of course, there'll be the final conflict battle and all that good stuff, right? I mean, that's what you gotta have. Go get the stuff and fight the big boss guy and get your rewards and go on about your business. Keep Serana as my follower from here on out. Actually, if we just go on with the rest of the main story, we're not all that far away. It's a pretty good trip. The last phase of the story, once you figure out how to get to Alduin and actually go to fight him and stuff, it's a pretty good journey. Actually, it's a pretty good journey going to Ariel's bow too. It's not just a walk in the park. I mean, you've got to go through a bunch of drama just to get to wherever it's at. It's a huge area. It's huge, explorable area. I mean, let's not just count what we already have with the Soul Cairn And then, you know, the added castle and all that, you know, with the ruined tower and all that we had to go through and stuff, which was kind of an adventure in and of itself. But then they add this entire new cave system, and they also add an entirely new area that leads to where Ariel's bow is. We get a little lore, get a little history of the snow elves and who they were and are, and so on and so forth. That's a lot of content for one DLC. I mean, Bethesda really does their DLC right. Think about it, they really do. Also, there's another little like side quest, and I'm pretty sure that it came with Dawnguard. It might have come with Hearthfire, but I'm 99.9% sure it came with Dawnguard. And it's this little side story, and it's an adventure in and of itself. You get with this ghost, and this ghost leads you through this thing, and you eventually lead to find out what Aetherium is, and it's this special kind of metal stuff. And you can find a few traces of it, and the dwarves were the only ones that managed to find a way to actually smith it. Right, but it had magical properties in and of itself. It's essentially a, kind of like an out-of-this-world metal type of thing, which is why they call it Aetherium, right? Anyway, but there's only a certain way you can forge it, and of course the dwarves figured out a machine to do it, right? Like they did with everything else, and the end rewards, after all is said and done, is you can make yourself like, I think it's a tiara or like a scepter, a staff, I think, or a shield? Is it a shield? Maybe it's a sword. I think it's a shield, though. Anyway, you can make one of several items, and you basically get to pick one, and that's it. That's all you get. And so you make your choice, and, you know, it's something that particular to your class. Maybe it's a bow. Maybe there's 4 items. I don't remember. Anyway, I did it once, just to go check it out. It was kind of interesting. It's basically a big dwarven ruin that you go through. It's interesting enough, and you have this ghost coming along, kind of telling you her little story. And apparently she died trying to do what you're going to do, and so you kind of finish her quest for her, type of thing. But it's interesting. I mean, it's just more content. I mean, just something, and they didn't have to throw that in there. I think this whole Dawnguard story would have been fine without that, you know. But they just did it, you know. Probably somebody's idea, maybe in the vanilla game, and it was left out for whatever, so they put it back in and just included it with the DLC. I mean, that's cool. It's like ordering a Big Mac and getting some free fries, you know. Okay, I'll take it. Anyway, I could go on, and we all know Skyrim. I could go on and I could make a list about 1,000 pages long of stuff that we could go do in here, and true enough. But I just like that we got to do a playthrough and got to share some of my favorite stuff, mainly my build and some of my favorite characters and how I like to use them, and the stuff I particularly like to do and go see in the game. And the few things that I might have otherwise done, but we haven't, we've talked about it, you know. And I'm sure any of y'all that have played this game, which I'm sure all of y'all have put in thousands of hours too, you know. You've already done that and seen it, so you can all relate to all that, so. At some point, I guess, draw a line. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, Fallout 4 is coming out. And it's time to go do that. This was definitely really, really cool doing this in the meantime. Waiting for Fallout 4 release to have something to tide us over, you know? Personally, I don't think, some of these games, they don't go out of style. They don't get old. Fallout 3, Skyrim, we can, at some point, Oblivion. We still got all 3 Mass Effects. We did all 3 Dragon Ages, basically waiting for Inquisition to come out. Andromeda's going to come out at some point, right? You even have Dark Souls 3 coming out here pretty soon, and with the people that are in charge of that project back in place, that promises to there is some hope that it's going to revert back to some of the things that made the first Dark Souls and Demon Souls amazing, that they really got away from in Dark Souls 2. And Bloodborne was cool, but I don't even count it among the same, just because it was made by those people. I don't count it in the same. It's not really the same thing. You can see their fingerprints on the game. Some of the stuff, like the combat, and some of the concepts and NPC interaction, things like that. There's some shades of familiarity there, but I don't consider it a Souls game. Even if it was made by the creator of the first Souls games, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't seem like one. It didn't hold me. It didn't even grab me. It didn't grab me and hold me as much as Dark Souls 2 did. And I'm not a fan of that game. I can almost I'm not gonna say I don't like it, but I don't like it either. That makes sense. I'm really meh about it. It was enough that out of just kind of respect for the Souls titles, I got my platinum on it. Just because I was close, I needed a few more achievements, so I went ahead and got them. You know, did a couple more playthroughs and went ahead and got them, type of thing. But it became more tedium, more of a chore than fun. Whereas with Dark Souls 1, I actually started a new Xbox account and then came over here to PlayStation and complete gamed it several times. Just, you know, because earning the trophies was fun again. And I enjoyed playing the game and kind of wanted to just an excuse to start another playthrough and start looking for all the weapons that I normally probably wouldn't bother with and stuff. I mean, that's how much I like that. And that's the contrast between that and Dark Souls 2. It's really just that big of a contrast. And I think Souls fans, I think there's a conflict there because they don't want to admit that a lot of them probably feel the same way. But it's hard to put a finger on it as to exactly why. Because some of the creatures look the same, the fighting sort of feels the same, kinda. Some things about PvP were better, a lot more things were worse, but some things were a little better. Connectivity was a little better, the summons were okay. But, I mean, but what, the heart and soul was missing. It was like just a shell, like a pretty wrapper. I used to complain the same thing about Skyrim as compared to Oblivion. I used to, actually a little bit. I've kind of turned around a little on that towards Skyrim. Kind of respect it a bit more. Actually, some of you guys are responsible for that. Actually, a few of you that have come into view and leave comments and stuff and point out some things that I'd be the first to admit I just missed. I just wasn't thinking about it that way, and I was wrong. I just straight up wrong. That's easy, right? And I get it. But Dark Souls 2, no, I put my time into it. Like I say, I got my platinum trophy, and there wasn't that sense of accomplishment that I got with the first Souls game. Hell, Demon Souls, I still haven't got my platinum. I'm still missing 2 weapon trophies. Oh, by the way, if anybody's got a pure Blade Stone or a pure, what is it, Dark Moon Stone weapon in your inventory on an old Demon Souls character, can I have it? I don't even have it. Just let me hold it for 2 seconds. Get the trophy for it. I'll give it back, I promise. Man, if I could just get those 2 trophies, that's all I'm missing from that. But that would be accomplishment. Because that game was amazing. I wish I had played Demon Souls first, actually. I really wish I had played Demon Souls first. I think I would have appreciated Dark Souls even more. But Dark Souls was my first, and either way, I did go back and play Demon Souls and did my best to complete game because it's worthy of that. Okay, so we're gonna get this started, and I admit I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna mash buttons until something does what it's supposed to do. I'm gonna mash the things until the thing does that thing. Because no, I'm a blind idiot sitting in a dark room, blindfolded, faced backwards in my chair, banging on a keyboard with a hammer, hoping that something works, type thing. Yeah, this is amazing. The dwarves even made a machine that could read an Elder Scroll without blinding the reader. I mean, seriously? That is making a pretty cool sound, though. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I think you just press each button as it's available to press or something. Oh, look. A new button thingy to push to do that thingy. What? I knew what I was doing the whole time. That was a fine display of my mastery of the game. You're like, dude, you're so full of shit, shut up. Alright, I'll be quiet. Alright, so we got that thing for Septimus, and then we can grab this for 2 reasons. Actually, we need the scroll for both things. And I think until you're done with both the main quest, or at least the part where you have to go up to talk to Parthenax, and Dawnguard, then it's stuck in your inventory. So it's kind of good that we're doing this all at once, and we'll do this back to back. Like I say, I don't know what else we'll get to. Honestly, the one glaring thing kind of left undone is the Civil War, and I mentioned it in the last game. If you want to cap the Civil War real quick, go fight some Imperials, fight some more Imperials, fight a few more Imperials, go take Solitude. End of story. Literally. That's it. See how far away we are? Look at this. We went in all the way over there by Septimus spot, and we're way down here. I think we came across this one time, and I think I even pointed out, I'm like, you know, this looks like the exit from Blackreach, but it can't be this far away, can it? And there it is. That's exactly what it was. Halfway across Skyrim. So, and I don't know where the rest of those tunnels all lead. I've never explored every reach from Blackreach. I don't know where all those tunnels and passages go. I think they go to like different ruins all over the place. It's crazy.
Dwemer in the beyond, I'll know your lost unknown and rise to your depths. Give it quickly. Extraordinary. I see it now. The ceiling structure interlocks in the tiniest fractals. Dwemer blood can loose the hooks, but none alive remain to bear it. A panoply of their brethren could gather to form a facsimile, a trick. Something they did not anticipate. No, not even them. The blood of Altmer, Bosmer, Dunmer, Falmer, and Orsimer. The elves still living provide the key. Bear you hence this extractor. It will drink the fresh blood of elves. Come when its set is complete. Ah, the box contains the heart. Ah, the essence of a god. I have devoted my life to the Elder Scrolls, but their knowledge is a passing awareness when compared to the encompassing mind of divinity. The Dwemer were the last to touch it. It was thought to have been destroyed by the Nerevarine, but my lord told me otherwise. The Daedric Prince of the Unknown, Hermaeus Mora. I thought there were no secrets left to know until I first spoke to him. He asks a price to work his will. A few murders, some dissent spread, a plague or two. For the secrets I can endure. In time, he brought me here, to the box. But he won't reveal how to open it. Maddening.
Okay, no more talking to this dude because, like, he's intentionally using words that maybe only 1 out of 100 people actually listening to him might understand. That's why they call him nuts, because he's just annoying.
Come closer. Bask in my presence. I am Hermaeus Mora. I am the guardian of the unseen, a knower of the unknown. I have been watching you, mortal. Most impressive. Your continuing aid to Septimus renders him increasingly obsolete. He has served me well, but his time is nearing its end. Once that infernal lockbox is opened, he will have exhausted his usefulness to me. When that time comes, you shall take his place as my emissary. What say you?
Until the next emissary comes along? Well, we know how it's going to end for me then.
Indeed. Speak with me when the box has been opened, and all shall be revealed.
You can give me stuff. I'm not going to do anything more for you. Whether you want to call me your emissary or not, irrelevant. Doesn't really matter what I say either, does it? Alright, so we got that out of the way. Alright, so we need to go find Falmer blood, which we were just in the thick of the Falmer, right? A little late for that. I guess we'll manage to find some eventually. The Dark Elf is probably going to be the hardest of all the elf bloods to find. That's what I would think. I can't think right off the top of my head, unless... I mentioned in the last video, maybe Boethia's calling, you know, where you go up to Boethia's temple and start all that. Maybe. Good opportunity to sacrifice Sven, too. We may have to go do that, just because. Okay, I think we're supposed to be here, right? I'm going to go ahead and get the Moth Priest to read this, since we went and got it. Who's this?
I hear you're doing a lot of the work in tracking down these vampires. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
Is this a follower?
All right, then.
Who's... Oh, she is so worth another playthrough. Hello. Reminds me a bit of Mule without the face paint. I can feed. Feed on the Moth Priest.
I trust your journey was successful? I'm sorry, my friend. I can no longer be of use in this matter.
Oh, crap.
It's my fault. In my haste to read the first scroll, I neglected the careful preparation required. I thought I'd be able to allay the after effects, but I was wrong. Now I am paying for it. Blind? Yes, I'm afraid so. No, it will have to run its course, and there's always the chance I may never recover. No, there is another way. The question is, how much are you willing to risk to find Oriel's bow? I can't guarantee you'd be free from harm. Becoming blind could be the least of your worries. Scattered across Tamriel are secluded locations known only as Ancestor Glades. There's one in Skyrim in the Pine Forest. Performing the ritual of the Ancestor Moth within the glade should provide the answers you seek. It involves carefully removing the bark from a canticle tree, which will in turn attract Ancestor Moths to you. Once enough of the moths are following, they'll provide you with the second sight needed to decipher the scrolls. In keeping with tradition, you must use a specific tool in the Ancestor Glade, an implement known as a draw knife. Every Moth Priest is taught this ritual, but few ever get the chance to perform it. You should consider yourself fortunate if it works for you. From what I saw in the vision, the Elder Scroll which foreshadows the defiance of the gods with the blood of mortals is the key to the prophecy. Sadly, yes. It is the inevitable fate we agree to pursue when reading the Elder Scrolls. It generally does not occur until a Moth Priest is in his latter years, but in my case, I simply was not preparing myself properly. Deciphering one of the Elder Scrolls is nothing like reading a simple book. There is quite a bit of ritual and concentration required. It can take months or even years to complete a single scroll, and even then, months to recover. Well, as I'm sure you've figured out by now, it's no mere coincidence that we're named Moth Priests. The voice of the Ancestor Moth has always been an integral part of reading the Elder Scrolls. Oh, the moths don't literally read the scrolls, but they maintain a connection to ancient magic that allows the Moth Priest to decipher them. If you listen closely when you find the glade, you should be able to hear their song, a soft, harmonious trilling. It's through this ancestral chorus that the moths tap into a form of primal augur and become a conduit for deciphering the scrolls. By having the Ancestor Moths close to the Moth Priest, they can utilize the conduit and share the moth's augury. Only the most resilient of priests can do it this way. It takes years of practice to interpret the harmony. You've come this far, and you've found several Elder Scrolls. Whether you believe it or not, the scrolls have a mind of their own. If they did not want you to find them, they would not allow it. Because of this, I strongly believe you were meant to hear the ancestral chorus, only one way to find out. Good luck. I hope you find the answers you seek.
Alright, so we get to be, let's see, we get to be a companion warrior of old. We get to be a master assassin. We get to be a master thief. Get to be a vampire lord and a werewolf. Now we get to be a Moth Priest, along with being the dragonborn savior of the world. So that's what I'm talking about. Talk about a well-rounded character, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so let's see, where are we supposed to be headed? I have no idea. You know, we've done a lot, but it doesn't seem like we've really done a lot of different things. But look at all those map markers. Okay, you know what? Let's just go... Alright. You know what? Let me show the quest on the map. There we go. Okay, that makes it easy. The Falk Wreath, there we go. Right around the corner. Alright, good deal. Right down the street.
Hands to yourself, sneak thief.
So we'll go up in here and get some kind of translation here, and this will point us in the direction we need to go find Ariel's bow and put an end to all this. And make yet again another, what, moral decision or something with Ariel's bow. I don't know what difference that plays. We'll just do whatever. Find the exit to this place. Alright, here we go. Alright, and this is where we'll pick up next time. We'll go find some moths and listen to them or something. Alright, if you want to subscribe, click that button up top. And if you want to catch the rest of this Let's Play up to this point, click that image there in the middle. Should send you straight to the playlist. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.